Hmm?
There's no sign in front of the 3.
There is a sign in front of the 3.
Where's 3 at?
Hmm?
3
I
at.
put it there. So you can do the numbers with no sign and then put the signs in afterwards, once you figure out what kind of number that you had. Okay, look at the next one. Okay, so same thing, we can draw our 2 parentheses. We need to find the factors of the first number, which is going to be what? 1 and 5, and the second number, which is 1 and 3. Okay, so the first number you can always fill in. So we got 1 and a 5. How many x's do we have? 2. So you put x and x. Okay, and then we can fill in 1 and 3. Now, I want to tell you that it does matter if you put a 1 and then a 3 or a 3 and then a 1. Okay, and I'm going to show you off to the side. Do not write the second one that I'm writing. But 1x, because I know some of you guys are going to be tempted to work ahead and then you're going to jack it all up. Okay, so if you multiply the first, 1 times 5, 5, and how many x's do we have?
2.
X squared. The outer, 1 times 3,
3x.
the inner,
5x.
and then the last.
3.
Okay, would a 3 and a 5, look up here because this is the part where you guys get all jacked up. Would a 3 and a 5 ever give me an 8?
Yes.
How could I get a positive 8?
3 plus 5.
Plus 3 plus 5. So you could fill it in. Plus 3 plus 5. Now on this one, they're both pluses, so it doesn't really matter where the plus goes to above. But if it's a plus minus combo, whether it be plus minus or minus plus, you need to go back and figure out which number goes to what. Okay, so it's going to be plus plus. Okay, so this is actually going to be your answer. But I want you to look what happens on this one. So we multiply the first, the outer, the inner, and the last. Okay, would a 15 and a 1 ever give me an 8?
No.
So this is why I said it matters whether you put a 1 and then a 3 or a 3 and then a 1 for your back numbers.
But how do we know?
You have to, that's why it's called guess and check. So you FOIL it out, and if your numbers, 2 middle ones, are not going to work, so if you would get a 15 and a 1, then you would flip-flop these. And then you would guess and check again, and then you say, oh, okay, this one does work. And so I'm not picking on purpose. I always just do 1 and 3, and if that doesn't work, 3 and 1. And if that doesn't work, then, and the number was like 4, we could do 1 and 4, 4 and 1, 2 and 2. Does that make sense? Okay, look at the next one. You guys, I don't know why you guys do this all the time. If I thought you were going to get it on the first day, why would I make you do the same sheet for 3 days? Doesn't really make sense, right? So you're not going to get it on day 1. It took me forever to get it. And even still, some teachers are like, oh, you can really check the inner and the outer without checking the first, but it doesn't make sense to. I can't skip steps on this one. I just can't. So just hang in there. You'll get it eventually. Okay, so what are some factors of 5?
1 and 5.
1 and 5. What about 2? 1 and 2. Okay, so draw your parentheses. You put your factors of the first number, 1 and 5. How many p's do you have? 2. So p and p. Okay, do you want to try 1 then 2 or 2 then 1?
1 and 2.
1 and 2. Okay, so we can put 1 and a 2. Okay, now, here's where we can start checking. So multiply the first. What are you going to get for the first?
5 squared.
5p squared. The outer, what are you going to get?
2p.
2p. The inner. And then the last.
2.
Okay, would a 2p and a 5p ever give you a 9? No, so this does not work. Do not go through and erase the whole dang thing because it doesn't work. Okay, here's what I would do. I would scribble this off Okay, and erase the 1 and the 2 and switch them around. So you gotta say 2 and then 1. Okay, multiply the first. What are you gonna get for the first? 5p squared. The outer, 1p. The inner, and then the last, 2. Okay, would a 10 and a 1 ever give you a 9?
Yes.
How?
Negative 1 plus 10.
-1 and a plus 10. Because it's a plus minus, you need to go back through and check. Where did the 1 go to? So we got the first, the outer, so that means that this one needs to go to this one and the plus needs to go to this one. By the end of the day, you should get the general concept. I don't expect you to get the numbers right and the signs right. You should have the general concept of what's going on.
Do you always circle the parentheses as yours?
Huh?
The number in the parentheses always your answer?
Yeah. Because there's no equal 0.
I do too.
Not yet.
Huh?
I said not yet.
No.
I don't think I will.
Huh?
I get it.
You could. Okay, what do you notice about the first and the last terms?
They're opposite. I'm not even and odd.
They're the same.
They're the same every time. You check the first, the outer, the inner, the last. Right? You always get the 5p squared and you're always going to get the 2. Okay? It's these inner 2 that really matter and dictate the rest of our stuff. Okay? So eventually you could kind of skip that step. Eventually. Don't try doing it today. Okay, look at 7. What do you do first?
Factors.
We got to find the factors. So what are factors of 2? 3. Okay, and then we draw our parentheses. What can you fill in?
1p.
1p and 2p. Okay, what do you want to try? 1 then 3 or 3 then 1?
1 and 3.
1 and 3. Okay, so we could say a 1 and a 3. Yes, it does. Huh? Yeah. Okay, 1p times 2p, 2p squared. So that's the first, the outer, 3p, the inner,
That's 2p.
and then the last.
3.
Okay, would a 2p and a 3p ever give me a 5p? A negative 5p?
Yes.
How?
Negative 3p plus negative 2p. Negative 3 Negative 3 plus negative 2.
So, you want them both to be negative, or you want a plus in there somewhere?
Odd? Yeah.
Yeah.
Negative 3p.
Negative 3 plus negative 2p.
I know, but when you say a plus, like, I don't know if you want me to put a plus in there.
Oh, no.
They're both.
Chicken.
Okay, and so this one worked out nicely. We didn't have to, like, do the 3 and the 2, okay? When you get bigger numbers, though, like if your factor on the end was 12, you got 1 and 12, or 12 and 1, 2 and 6, or 6 and 2, 3 and 4, or 4 and 3, and so it can be a lot of guessing and checking, okay?
Okay, explain this one to me.
Okay, look at 9. So we need to find the factors of our first number, which is what? 1 and 5. What about the second number? 1 and 8, 2 and 4. Now, see how many numbers are here? 1, 2, 3, 4. That means that you could guess and check 4 times. Okay, you may have to do it all 4 times. I don't know what the magic number combination is. Okay, I really don't. That's why I always do smaller numbers. Before, when it's like a 2 here, your factor is 1 and 2. So you could either do 1 and 2 or 2 and 1. Okay, so that's going to dictate how many times that you might have to try it to make it work. So we got a 1x and a 5x. What do you want to try first?
2 and 4.
2 and 4. Okay, multiply the first. What are you going to get for the first?
5x squared.
The outer,
4x,
the inner,
10x,
and the last.
8.
Okay, would a 4x and a 10x ever give me a 6x?
Yes.
Yes.
How?
Minus 4 plus 10.
-4 plus 10. So that's good. We didn't have to try all 4 times. Where do the signs go above it?
Minus 2
Plus 2.
plus 4.
We're getting mixed.
How? Okay, plus 2 minus 4.
So it's going to be a +2 and a -4. The way I always look at it, Sam, if it comes minus plus, then it's going to be plus minus. So it's kind of mix them up. Like you flip them when you have equals 0.
Shit.